everybody. Welcome back to Wisconsin Weather Experts on this Thursday. Hope you're having a great day so far. We have an awesome show for you today. A lot of really interesting stuff.
Yeah, well, we try to have interesting stuff every day.
I should probably start with that every day, shouldn't I?
Yeah, that's right. But you're right, we do. We have some unique and some wide-ranging topics to cover today, a whole bunch of different stuff. We're going to get to that. We're going to, of course, take a look at the bigger picture because we've got a lot happening in the days ahead. Big weekend here. And we'll be talking about the draft. Meteorologist Holly Baker has been working on a specific draft forecast because this is 3 important days.
Absolutely.
We've got to showcase the state properly.
Right. And we all know Wisconsin weather. A bit of a toss-up, so we're watching it closely.
We'd like to not live up to our stereotype, right? As long as it doesn't snow up in Green Bay,
yeah,
we'll
we're good.
be doing okay. And no, that's not in the forecast. But yes, Holly will have that coming up in just a bit. And we are live this morning with Chief Meteorologist Tom Walks out there. Are you golfing?
I am not golfing, although I am near a golf course today.
I was going to say, you're supposed to be working. You can't golf and work.
Right? Come on. But wait, you give me some ideas here. Maybe I should get the clubs out, right?
There you go. Multitasking.
No, it's not. Right? It's not a bad day today with this filtered sunshine coming in. And, like you guys said, the draft, it's all about the draft, right? And in the weather department, we have been sweating. We have been sweating for really the last couple of weeks because we know how important this weather forecast is. And overall, guys, I think we're going to luck out with this. I know here in southeastern Wisconsin today, we're looking good. Just a couple of rain showers possible up in Green Bay. But you know what? This time of year, as we all know, it can go either way, right? And so far, so good around here with another storm system eventually coming our way. But at least for today, here in southeastern Wisconsin, we're looking pretty good. Across the state, you get farther northwest, it gets a little bit wetter.
Yeah.
But right now, hey, we'll take some filtered sunshine around here in the Milwaukee area.
So well after some very early storms. They came through mostly before 5 o'clock this morning. And now, Tom, you are a real living, breathing person out there with us this morning, correct?
I am, as far as I know.
Okay, good.
I'm real, I'm living, I'm breathing.
I ask because your package coming up a little later on in the show is all about AI in the weather world.
Yes, and this is really interesting. Of course, the whole world going to AI, right? And it might sound really scary to a lot of us, right? Like, oh no, is AI going to take over the world? And that's been a big question in the weather world. Is AI going to completely take us all over as meteorologists? Is it going to take over weather forecasting? Well, yes and no is really the answer to this. And there is a lot of AI work going on in the meteorology world. I was actually a part of a conference or attending a conference earlier this year that was all about meteorology and AI. So we're going to break this down a little bit, and some of these answers might surprise you. And we're going to take a look at some of the work that is going on AI-wise when it comes to meteorology. So stay tuned for that a little bit later.
All right. Awesome. I look forward to it. Yeah, it sounds really good. In the meantime, though, enjoy being a living, breathing human with this beautiful weather. And if you don't mind, flip the camera around. I don't want to give away your location necessarily, but if you could give us some nice beauty shots, as we say in the biz, that would be great.
Sure.
Love it.
Yeah, so we've got kind of this high canopy of clouds going on, but really not a bad day. We've got the birds chirping today. The birds are happy.
Grass is nice and green.
So I think everyone's pretty happy with the weather today. Grass is green. Maybe at some point I've got my weather stations over here. My daughter has a little playground, so maybe one day we'll talk more specifically about what all that is, but that's you can definitely tell I'm a nerd, right, when I got my weather stations up.
Yeah, tell me your dad's a meteorologist without telling me, right?
Exactly right.
Thank you, Tom.
Great.
We appreciate it. We're looking forward to your AI package coming up in just a few minutes. So it is a beautiful day out there. Of course, like you were saying up the top, anything can happen, and a lot is going to change over the next few days. So why don't we take a look at that big picture? Oh, I got ahead of myself. First, you know what? No matter what you have in the big picture, we can't be too grumpy about it because I want to get you an update. We talked about these New Jersey wildfires yesterday, and we want to get an update on that. In fact, Ocean County in New Jersey is now under a state of emergency. Firefighters there are working to contain a massive wildfire. We have Fox correspondent C.B. Cotton with more from Ocean County, New Jersey.
The battle against a massive blaze in southern New Jersey continues as residents begin returning to their homes. Fire officials say the wildfire has escalated to more than 10,000 acres and is now partially contained since it broke out Tuesday morning. Overnight efforts have redirected the fire to a more forested area, leaving just one commercial building damaged.
Homes and lives have been saved, and we've truly averted a major disaster.
The fast-moving fire threatened over 1,300 structures at one point, forcing over 3,000 residents to evacuate. Shelters were even set up at local high schools.
They put you on cots. It wasn't easy to get comfortable, but it was good.
Do you know what's waiting for you when you get back?
I do. Bed, bath, food.
On Wednesday, many are returning to homes without power that was cut for firefighter safety. Tens of thousands of customers are in the dark as the power is gradually restored. Fire officials say it could be several days before the fire is completely contained, with conditions at their worst as wildfire season kicks off.
It's pretty extreme conditions right now. Spring fire season, April 20th is about the peak.
The dryness that has worsened in recent years, that is a continuing risk.
Officials are still working to determine the cause of the fire. In New Jersey, CB Cotton, Fox News.
Wow.
Some impressive video there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we wish them the best. Obviously, hopefully they'll get the kind of conditions they need to get ahead of that situation there. We want the kind of conditions that we would like for the draft and, of course, for the weekend. So let's dig into that big picture now.
Let's take a live look outside right now. A couple of live cams for you across southeast Wisconsin. Just more so showing the mix of clouds and sun that we've got after what was, as Rob mentioned earlier in the show, a very early morning batch of some showers and thunderstorms north of Milwaukee. The sun came out pretty quickly afterwards, and it wasn't a ton of rainfall, though a couple of stronger thunderstorms. You can see places like Sheboygan over to Juneau, 2-3 of an inch worth of rainfall in some of those communities. Since then, we have been dry. We did have a lot more cloud cover earlier, but now we've dried out here locally. Notice how there is still some rain off towards the west. The northernmost edge of this, though, is kind of fizzling as it continues to move north, and you can tell that it's just south of the Green Bay area. But as we have this stationary boundary, it is going to keep most of the precip west of us here locally, but portions of southwestern and even central parts of Wisconsin could still see just a few of these very light rain showers here in the next couple of hours. And there's plenty more activity out west. In fact, there is another low pressure system even farther towards the southwest, and that's going to bring in, as we zoom out here, more rain chances for the same area, Upper Plains to Great Lakes region, for late tonight and on into Friday. Likely about midday Friday in Wisconsin, and then that rain will move across the lake and out of our area. There is a severe threat. In fact, it looks like maybe one ongoing severe thunderstorm warning, a very isolated area though, but parts of Texas into Oklahoma. You can see plenty more just spotty rain showers too across the southeast. Quiet out west, though some of those higher elevations in the Four Corners region could see some heavy snow out of some of that storm system out there. Now, as we just talked about, there is a chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms. You can see parts of the central and southern plains for today, more so under that marginal and slight risk, but there is one small portion in northern Texas there that you could see under that level 3 enhanced risk. So talking mainly just some light rain showers here closer to the upper plains, but central and southern plains could see some stronger thunderstorms going forward today. Now, there are very small chances and isolated chances for a few more strong to severe thunderstorms in the next couple of days, also in that same area, more so around Texas, but not looking to be a big chance again in the coming days down south. Now, back to our area, we have that next rain chance for Friday. Tonight into the first half of Friday, gorgeous weekend in store, and then we do have at least the slight chance for a few more showers and thunderstorms by early next week. So we do still have a bit of an active forecast going forward with a couple of really nice days placed right on our weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Let's look at the near term though. So for the rest of today, you can still see a few rain showers across northern Wisconsin, maybe late afternoon, early evening. So there is still still that slight chance for anyone going to the draft in Green Bay to see a few light showers at times, though I do think most of the evening is going to be okay. You'll notice how some of that rain continues across northern Wisconsin overnight, but then the rest of us will see that next batch filling in by tomorrow morning, continuing likely into our early afternoon, and then drying out the rest of Friday. We'll still have cloud cover. Again, even if you're heading north to Green Bay, that cloud cover is going to stick around, but then we see it clearing out heading on into the weekend. Maybe some early morning cloud cover Saturday, but then sunshine the rest of the day. Then increasing cloud cover again come Sunday, especially late in the day, but it does still look to be a really nice weekend. When it comes to temperatures, we've got a bit of a range expected for today. Northern Wisconsin looking at middle and upper 50s, especially if that rain stays away for places like Green Bay. And then down towards the south, we really could see a big jump in temperatures, especially south of the Illinois state line where they are already in the 70s. It's all thanks to the placement of that cold front and stationary boundary. But I will add that as we look closer to southeast Wisconsin, I do think we're going to stay in the 50s for those lakeshore communities, whereas inland areas will climb likely to around 70. So we are looking at a little bit of a range in temperatures here, all thanks to that lake breeze for today. But overall, looking to be really nice. And then looking ahead to temperature-wise, we do have even more warmth by early next week, cooling a little bit over the weekend. But
gets a bit more unsettled early next week,
yes.
But the heat is on. And of course, we're turning the corner, kind of just past the midway of what we call meteorological spring.
Yes, absolutely.
So the warming trend, of course, is natural as well. So you add that to the above average, and we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure. I mean, you know, there's always a balance to these things. So we'll sit and wait for the other shoe to fall and just hope it's not a snowshoe.
Yeah.
We'll be back after the break. There's a live look up the road to Green Bay as, of course, we continue to cover the draft. And we will have our exclusive draft forecast with meteorologist Holly Baker on the other side. Welcome back to Wisconsin Weather Experts on a very busy day. Of course, we focus on all things here in Wisconsin and beyond, and that includes the draft.
And we have been talking draft for months now. So it's incredible that today is the day. It kicks off later on this evening. Here's a live view in Green Bay looking at Lambeau, and meteorologist Holly Baker is here with a breakdown of the draft forecast the next couple of days.
Yeah, so over the next couple of days,
It's going to be a little bit of everything. As far as we'll get into temperatures, but for now it looks really nice out there, and honestly they're going to hold strong and pretty nice for at least another minute or so before they have maybe a few showers move into their area. You can even see some of those clouds pretty much covering it, and even here on our satellite and radar too, they're still pretty dry for now, but a few of those showers could even in fact move into the Green Bay area, and even more rain they could be expecting by the time they make it to tomorrow morning. This is what we're watching right here. It's just in the state of Minnesota, so off to the west. It's going to continue to track, as what Stephanie had already showed you once before, that's going to continue to track closer to the Green Bay area. So for tomorrow morning, you're definitely going to need an umbrella if you're going to be out and congregating. But overall, we're going to have a nice ending to the draft weekend. So here is just a quick forecast for you. This is a look at least Thursday. A few showers possible today with temperatures warming up in the mid-50s. Temperatures will be a little bit cooler for Friday. We'll be right at that 50-degree mark, and we could have that rain that we just saw on the satellite and radar. That's going to move in early Friday morning. And then after that, the sun is going to come out for the second half of the day, as well as even as we head into Saturday. It's going to warm up a little bit more for Saturday. We'll have mostly sunny skies, and then those temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 50s. The wind, though, the wind for the next 2 days, so for today and even tomorrow, the wind is going to be pretty strong, so you'll definitely feel that breeze if you're going to be outdoors. And make sure you anchor down any tents or anything that you have if you're going to be outside. And don't forget to pack the poncho and even the umbrella, and bring a smile for Saturday because the sun is definitely going to be out. I hope you guys have a great time if you're headed to the draft.
And a lot of folks will be headed right there.
Yeah.
So take a
You
live
can already
look.
see some of the action out there.
And this is very, very early, so we'll be on top of that throughout the entire event and probably beyond. Probably do a little look back when things are all said and done as well. So we learned a little bit about getting new weather data earlier this week. We were live at a WiscoNet install, and now we're going to talk about new ways to kind of use that data.
Yeah, and what we're talking about is AI and its role in future weather forecasting and everything within this business, of course. Meteorologist Tom Walks has great insight into this topic.
Yeah, hey, Steph and Rob. So AI, it's the future, right? And AI is here. But a lot of times when you hear the words artificial intelligence, a lot of people get scared, right? Like, oh, it's going to take over the world. But is it? I don't think we're quite there yet, but there is a lot of progress being made in the weather world. So let's take a deeper dive into where meteorology is right now and where we're going with artificial intelligence.
Well, we've all heard of AI, right? Artificial intelligence, as it is booming in its capabilities of what it can do. But how does AI relate to weather? It's a big deal. In fact, it's a real big deal in the weather community as computer models. We've got AI weather computer models that are in development, and some of the biggest companies are onto this, including Google and Microsoft, for example, all working on AI weather computer models. These are some of them that are currently in progress, including the European, what's called the AIFS. Pangu Weather is another one. We'll talk about NATOcast here in a minute as well. That's on X, formerly known as Twitter. So let's talk about this here. What are AI computer models? How do they differ from our current computer models? And, well, is it about to take our jobs and overtake everything? Let's talk about it. So AI computer models run much faster than a traditional numerical weather prediction computer model. And right now, with traditional models, all the data is put in, and these are math and physics equations that simulate the state of the atmosphere. All of those equations go through these supercomputers, and it can take hours to get the result of what that model thinks is going to happen over the next couple of days. These AI models run much faster because it doesn't rely on all of these complex mathematical equations. I'll get to more on that in a moment. Most of the AI models right now are fairly low resolution. And when we're looking at computer models, we're looking at different grid spacings. Now, right now, it's about a 30-kilometer resolution with AI computer models. That's pretty far apart. When we're talking about thunderstorms and thunderstorm scale, we want to be on the 1, 2, or 3-kilometer scale when we're looking at very fine details of a storm system or something like that. So bottom line is, right now, it's not great with extreme weather. It's okay with the broad stuff, but it's not real good at drilling down and looking at lake breezes or thunderstorm development or something like that. So AI models are showing a lot of promise, including this NATOcast model that is available for free on X, formerly known as Twitter. That's raised a lot of eyebrows. What it shows is basically the area that could see the greatest risk for tornadoes on a given day, and they do like a 2-day forecast. And that's something in the weather community that we've looked at a bit more, and it's actually shown a lot of promise and shown quite a bit of skill with that. So that is more on the lower scale in terms of resolution, or the greater scale, I should say, of resolution. Now, the current computer models use physics and math equations. You may have heard of the American model, right? The GFS, the Euro or the European, there's the NAM, and there are several other models as well. AI models use neural networks and machine learning to forecast. So what these AI models are doing is, well, they're taking a first look at the atmosphere, and then they are simulating that out 6 hours, and they're taking that and doing another 6 hours, and so on and so forth, to go out several days. So you're not using the math equations and the physics equations here, but what you're doing is you're using the machine learning and the neural networks to do it. So it's a different, faster process, and then each time it runs, it's kind of learning off of each other, right? So here's the bottom line when it comes to AI. Are AI computer models going to take over our jobs and take over the weather anytime soon? The answer is no. Is it making rapid progress? Yes. But here's the deal. Much like the traditional computer models, AI computer models spit out various solutions. So it's not to say that all AI computer models are going to be correct. Just like the standard computer models often aren't correct. It takes analysis on the human end to look at that and say, okay, which model do we think is best in a snowstorm or in a thunderstorm? That type of a thing. The human analysis is still very much required for all of this. Now, maybe a decade down the road, maybe that starts to change. But right now, we are nowhere near where AI computer models are extremely accurate at this point. Now, I think it'll continue to get accurate with time. It will continue to supplement the forecast process here, but we often call it computer model guidance. And the reason why we do that is because you don't want to take a computer model at its word. It takes that human analysis to be able to peel those layers back to figure out a weather forecast. And I think AI is showing a lot of promise, and I think it's going to be a game changer in the weather world, but at least as of now, I don't see it replacing human meteorologists.
Fascinating stuff.
Fascinating stuff.
I mean, it makes you a little nervous, as I mean, you know, all that calculus.
I'm glad you
did.
said it, not me.
I worked really hard at calculus. I want to still be able to use it,
hard.
right? But yeah, it is fascinating, and I think, you know, like all things with new tech, as long as we are conscious as people, as a society, to put it to its best use and to let it help us, as opposed to let it take over for us.
Right.
I think we'll be doing pretty well in the long run. So I'm excited to see the future of it. I hope you're excited to see the future of this show, because that's coming up right after this.
right, welcome back everybody to Wisconsin Weather Experts. Talked about a lot of really cool stuff so far today, and now we're taking our eyes to the skies, but this next event a little deceiving.
Yeah, so there is going to be what they call a triangle, and it's going to be occurring around a crescent moon. And we'll get to that in a second here. We're looking at some live B-roll. Well, it's not live, it's B-roll. It's actual video of some of the Hubble telescope stuff. And it is the actual 35th anniversary of the Hubble Space Telescope. It was deployed back in 1990, April of 1990. The mission, of course, is completely rewritten. Look at these amazing images. These are real images. This is not AI. And they, of course, have been rewriting astronomy textbooks for a while now, for decades, obviously. The optimal position in the atmosphere, obviously in low orbit, away from that light pollution, away from any other kind of interference to get those amazing pictures. So kind of a happy anniversary note there to Hubble. And a little note to you. If you're on social media and you see this coming up, you are not going to see that ever. Social media is talking about this smiley face. There is going to be this triangular conjunction, as they call it, with the crescent moon, and you are going to see two planets. But in reality, even that's probably a happier version of it. You're not going to see a smiley face in the sky, and even to see what you see there, which if you really use your imagination and tilt your head is kind of a smiley face, you'll have to get way out, away from all the lights of the city to see even that version. So tilt your head, and we'll be back tomorrow to talk more about that and many other things right here on Wisconsin Weather Experts.
All around the state, all around the country, the news of the day here in Wisconsin, and for anyone who's an NFL fan, comes to us from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let's get you a live look there at the Draft Theater just outside of Lambeau Field. Tonight is the night. Almost a decade of planning and then weeks of construction have led to this moment, the first round of the NFL Draft in the league's smallest